Hopping out that phone car, what a couple from
That's Danny Garcia.
hopping out that Lambo, hopping out like Rainbow. Pussy got that ammo, up in his camo. Never been a lame-o, never been a lame-o. Popping all this champagne.
It's not official, but Danny Garcia is likely going to be taking on Andre Berto September the 24th. We don't know if it's going to be on Showtime or on. It could be Showtime. It could be Premier Boxing Champion Showtime on CBS, or it could be PBC on Fox. I'm thinking it's going to be Showtime. Do you really want to see the fight? You know, when I think about it, Danny Garcia, his resume is I'm gonna pull it up. His resume is pretty good. You know, when you look at Eric Morales, when you look at Robert Guerrero, when you look at Lucas Matisse, who people said was going to kill him and decapitate him. When you look at Paulie Malignaggi, even though it was that Paulie Malignaggi's still fighting, and he's won his last couple of fights, if not 3. When you look at how you look at the Lamont Peterson fight, the Lamont Peterson fight is very, very controversial. And I feel that that should be a rematch. But I also feel that Amir Khan should rematch Lamont Peterson. But I had Danny Garcia winning, in my personal opinion. You have Mauricio Herrera, who he shouldn't have won that fight. But that was that Puerto Rico home cooking. You have Zab Judah. Zab Judah was still a pretty good name then. And then, of course, you have Amir Khan. Now, what I just pulled up is this. The WBC announced the tournament last year for Floyd Mayweather's emeritus. Basically, Floyd Mayweather is a champion, emeritus. So that's I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's Emeritus. And basically what that means is whenever he comes back or decides to come back, he can fight for the WBC title at 147 or 154 pounds. Vitaly Klitschko also has that status, just in case he decides to come back. So the WBC had this tournament that they wanted to do, but basically the tournament went completely to shit. For example, who was supposed to be in this tournament against each other? We know Danny Garcia, Robert Guerrero, because Danny Garcia is the champion, Amir Khan, Sammy Vasquez, Lamont Peterson, Andre Berto, Aaron Martinez, and I'm probably missing one more 147-pounder that was in the tournament. The biggest issue is that the way the tournament brackets were set up, this is the WBC that were picking these fights. That was saying these guys got to fight these guys to advance in the tournament to get a shot at the title. Well, what ended up happening was Danny Garcia versus Robert Guerrero ended up being for the title. And the WBC can say, that fighters are going to fight or they should fight. But Al Heyman doesn't have to say these fighters should fight or. And what is the WBC going to do? They need a champion. They need a champion. So they had this WBC tournament, and it's really not a tournament at all. But Andre Berto was in that tournament, and he just came off a high-profile win against Victor Ortiz. So in my opinion, that should be reason enough to, somewhat justify his fight. Now, on paper, it's not really a bad fight, It's not really a bad fight. I have Danny Garcia winning. I have Danny Garcia winning possibly by knockout, via close quarters combat. But overall, I feel that, how can I put it, to make it make sense? I feel that Andre Berto is the better boxer, and Danny Garcia is the better fighter. And you have to look at it like, well, if Andre Berto loses, like really, if he loses, at this point in time in his career, he's not going to be a world champion. It looks like, ever again. When you look at what fights may be available for Andre Berto if he loses, a rematch with Soto Karass, but he's a Golden Boy fighter. You can try to get that, if things get tough, You can do, of course, him versus Robert Guerrero, if Robert Guerrero wants to fight. But as far as Danny Garcia is concerned, Andre Berto, he can outbox. If Andre Berto is able to fight a more engaging fight, but yet somewhat of the same fight as far as the movement involving Danny Garcia, because remember, movement and jabs bother Danny Garcia. If he was able to do, better than Lamont Peterson, he has a very good chance to win. Now, a lot of people are going to give Danny Garcia shit because he turned down the 3 to 4 million that was allegedly offered. Well, they pretty much addressed it. It was offered to fight Manny Pacquiao. And the question I have is, what I talked about before in previous videos is, if the big guy didn't think, thank you, Al Heyman, if the big guy didn't think that it was a good deal, then why would he waste Danny Garcia time to go to him and Angel and say, they offering 3 to 4 mil? I mean, they offered 3 to 4 mil. You think he's going to be like, Danny Garcia going to tell Al Heyman, no, Al, that's a bad deal. And then Al going to be like, yeah, it's a bad deal. I don't even know why I brought it to you, dog. I thought about it. I don't even know why I brought it to you, dog. I thought about it. So the reason why Adrian Broner was offered more is because of marketability. He can sell press conferences. He has a large, I use the term urban following, and that will transition into pay-per-view buys. But Danny Garcia, you're pretty much on a marketing to what boxing fans sometimes want to see. They want to see controversy in fights, and that controversy would come from Angel Garcia. And would it be forced? Would he just be on some corny shit? But he's not that type of dude. From what I can tell. But still, a lot would be on his shoulders. To try to help, like drive pay-per-views. Drive up pay-per-view buys. And then they had the nerve to say to the media, 40 million. And it's like, the pay-per-view is not going to even make like 40 million, I'm not talking about like, it's probably not going to make 40 million off of pay-per-view buys. And I have to wonder what other fight, out there can he make that type of money, that's in the Heyman stable. Now, I personally, if he beats Andre Berto, you have to buy Danny Garcia versus Keith Thurman on pay-per-view. I feel that should be on pay-per-view. There's not enough money in, free TV or Showtime, in my opinion, for those guys to get paid the money that they would get paid, because somebody's face is going to get fucked up in that fight. Excuse my language. Like Danny Garcia versus Keith Thurman spells fireworks. And Steven Espinoza of Showtime has said that there's a good chance that fight is going to happen. Now I know, as a fan, of the sport, before a reporter and all that, I'm supposed to be like, oh no, man, we should get that fight for free. Nah, bro. If you want the world of boxing to to prosper, the economics of it, we need pay-per-views every now and then, especially for what the fighters want to get paid. But I'll just leave it at that. As soon as the fight becomes official, it may be within 1 or 2 weeks, because they're saying it's going to be on September the 24th. And of course, I have been to and interviewed Danny Garcia at his last 3 media workouts. And got some good information out of him here in Philly. So this time I expect to do a whole lot better, and get more exclusive content, and also get, some more detailed answers from Angel Garcia and Danny Garcia, more so Angel, on, why they turned down, the Pacquiao fight, and what other fights out there, where you can make good money. And I'm also highly interested in trying out my 4K technology, on like the media workouts and the heavy bags and the slow motion shit. I got some good technology in my hands, right now. So Tissue Controversy. This is Tissue Controversy Live. Follow me on Instagram at TST Controversy. All the links to my social media are right down below in the description box. Got a website launching soon called FightView360.com. Tissue Controversy Live.